Hollywood magic.
One of the most jarring cuts I've ever seen.
Oh my goodness, what's going on here? I thought you meant something else about like, a bad cut over here.
Movies are filled with unforgettable cuts. And tons of great editing that will never give pause to casual viewers. But for us editors, while we may still register these edits, what literally makes us pause and rewind is more often when a cut feels off. Of course, we're not talking about obvious bad cuts in low-budget movies. We're talking about these almost invisible editing tricks in big Hollywood movies. Movies with huge names attached, sometimes from beloved franchises, whose filmmakers can still find themselves hitting a wall in the cutting room. So today in Cut to Reveal, Piotr, Ricardo and I decided to gather a few examples of these bad cuts to try and make sense of them and maybe learn something along the way. So you don't know what it's gonna be about, what are the cuts. I want you to be able to pinpoint the problem in the editing. Tell me how you would fix it.
Like, that cut is really bad, and you're like, that cut? No, I meant that cut. Ah, okay.
Let's start with something really strong. Your favorite 50 Shades Darker.
Darker, so that's sort of like part 3 or 4?
I don't know if you've seen the 3 movies. They're not considered great work of art to begin with. But I noticed something in 50 Shades Darker, and I just wonder if you will too.
Do we have to R-rate it? Just blur everything? Like...
No, it's not that kind of scene.
That's the next clip.
She's just the next one in line.
Get out of my house. Leave my children alone and get the hell out of my house.
What?
It's very clear which cut you mean.
It's the turn of her head. It's kind of a jump cut almost.
The change of angle is very, very subtle with the same frame size basically. And that's like one of the most basic rules.
The 30 degrees rule.
Yeah, exactly. You don't cut to pretty much the same angle.
Because it just looks too much the same.
Even though, of course, it can be broken. In this case, I don't think there is justification for that.
They could have easily cut to a reaction shot of someone else just to hide that cut.
Maybe the performance wasn't good enough. That would be my guess. But ultimately, the director has got last call on it and going to be like, nah, I mean, that's fine.
To me, that almost feels like it was forgotten in the edit.
We forgot about the thing we discussed, all the rendering, and they already made a DCP. Fuck.
They left a coffee cup in there.
Talking about this rendering that we do and things we may forgot when we're exporting a movie and we realize it afterwards and we have to go back and do another export. There's a movie called Blackhat. It's from Michael Mann, starring Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, I did see this.
It's about a hacker hired by the government to track down a terrorist. I had never seen it before, and I was watching the director's cut, or the longer version, and some things I noticed were kinda off.
The guy we're working will drop the big hammer and not think twice about it. And
Come on. Don't evoke 9/11 on me.
You didn't lose anyone there, Stanley.
Look, I'm under orders. Now so are you. Bring him in, Carol. Bring him in.
What? I feel like I just got slapped in the face.
I want to watch it again.
I'm under orders. Now so are you. Bring him in, Carol.
Okay.
Did you see it?
I mean, it's pretty much the same thing.
But even weirder, right?
So I might not.
Because that would be a very easy fix, right?
You would think.
It doesn't seem to achieve anything having that shot of him on the phone being on the exact opposite side of the shot. You have the possibility of cutting straight to the other person on the phone.
Now so are you. Bring him in, Carol. Bring him in.
And you could still reverse shot on the other side of the call.
Bring him in, Carol. Bring him in.
It makes me think that there's part of this conversation that was cut out in the theatrical release, and this is just like the addition of it, and it was just put in without smoothing out the transition or whatever.
Look, I'm under orders. Now so are you. Bring him in, Carol. Bring him in.
It is too short, especially on the big screen. That's one of the things that you have to consider as an editor. If it's short for the cinema, you have to be even more considerate about the eye trace, because in the cinema, I would be in the third row. I would have to take my head just to look at him.
Bring him in.
Basically, the shot would be gone by this point, yeah.
To prove my point about Blackhat being maybe a work print, we're gonna take a look at the next excerpt. So it's a nuclear plant, yeah, exploding.
stock footage? Stock footage? Stock footage? I thought you meant something else. So but there is actually stock footage in it. Have you added it?
It was like that. I feel like there's an overlay that's missing with titles.
They had like a Chinese and English version, and
Somebody forgot something.
My guess is that there's just so much time that we're going to put into it. So like, okay, we've done it. Good enough. Let's get it out the door.
This one is subtle.
how do I go frame by frame this?
Because I just went through it frame by frame and I'm not seeing it.
Oh my goodness, what's going on here?
Is it the white frame?
No.
Oh, I see it. I see it now.
It's not continuous, it cuts to a closer shot.
Yeah, so Arnold Schwarzenegger is moving towards the camera, a big weapon in hand. Suddenly, in the same shot, there's a jump cut, and he's suddenly like a few steps closer to the camera when he actually seems to be shooting. I had never noticed that before. I was like, what happened here? Because you can easily cut around that. Cut out the frame where he's suddenly closer, because that's just one frame. And you cut to the wide shot to him still holding the weapon for a frame, and it works.
The blast basically take place of the zooming in. Knowing our action films, they're gonna make it jump to like give it a little bit more kick. At the same time, this is not in the right order.
This might have been something that they used kind of to accentuate the cut, to give us this like jarring emotion.
Subconsciously, it adds to the power of the weapon.
No sign of life out there, General. Sensors are in place. You'll know if anything comes around.
Commander Skywalker reported in yet?
No, he's checking out a meteorite that hit here.
With all the meteor activity in this system, it's going to be difficult to spot approaching ships.
General, I gotta leave. I can't stay anymore.
I'm sorry.
I think there is something off with camera angles.
Okay, so Ricardo, do you want to help out Piotr?
The shot of Leia, there's the same shot.
The first shot has been flipped, and the next two shots are the normal shots.
You can actually check it just looking at the guys he's surrounded by. Darker hair is closer to us, so it proves the point.
Hollywood magic.
I'm curious about this one, because I love how it's edited. Okay.
Go ahead, Ricardo.
It's reversed. They time remapped it in reverse.
When someone is still, the tail for the reverse shot will be the eyelids, because the way we close our eyes, when you reverse it, it just looks weird. The eyelids never lie.
Even without the eyelid, as soon as I see it happening, I'm like, oh, that's a reverse shot.
When he was in Poland for camera image, a few times during the screening, he was like,
oh, that's weird. That was weird. That's my superpower.
What I'm pretty sure happened here, they only had the two shots that we see in the scene. The wide shot with the police arriving in front of the restaurant, and the one with Carmi looking at them. But they didn't have the introduction they wanted.
If you don't have what you like what you have.
And very precious. Those were the last words I ever exchanged with the Holy Father.
Yes, of course. Good night, Joe.
Good night, Thomas.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Okay, yeah. So there is like the continuity is missed.
Good night, Thomas.
At the same time, it works. I don't think it feels like continuity is broken.
This is classic eye trace. You're following his movement, so it doesn't matter what happens in the beginning shot or the second shot. The door is closed mostly, but it's open in the second shot. But because he's moving in that way,
it hides the cuts.
And by the way, those cuts, very often it's a matter of one frame, right or left. Right or wrong, basically.
I'll be ready in a moment, Dean.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's surprising because you know that in the previous shot, the door is far from being closed. it would be less jarring. It's the fact that we're on one side and suddenly we're on the other side. That's kind of visually jarring.
But I don't know, this reminds me of like bold choices in The Graduate. So like it's a bold editing choice.
Knowing the film, it's more like a visual metaphor. This is the door closing.
It's not unusual to find that I'm in love with you. And we lay low.
The thing that I've noticed is that they're not really doing slow motion in a traditional way. This is one of those films where they faced a lot of issues. The rhythm of it felt good on a set, but right now in the context of the whole film, it's completely off. So we have to slow it down.
The thing is that I understand what they wanted to say, but it also doesn't look very good.
Fingers appear and disappear basically between frames.
It looks AI generated.
Because it's after the fact, no matter how many plugins they put on it or if they like conform the frame rate.
It was a good decision in a way, but you're right, it's a fix.
Well, that went well.
Yeah, our friends think we're crazy. It's great.
Well, maybe we are. They're probably just some weird coincidences. You think?
I hope so.
What's going on here? I don't think I got it. Reverse again? No.
It's a boomerang. The shot on the girl, they moved it forward fine, but then they had to get her face back the other way because the cut to shot is her profile shot again, so they just time remapped it in reverse.
That's the most difficult reverse shot I've seen in a movie in a way. To me, it felt quite natural, so that's why I think Piotr had a hard time.
By the way, I did notice something weird about this shot, but I couldn't tell what.
You're conning this poor man, Owen.
No. No conning. It's actually all his idea. He came to find Dad, he got me.
You're filling him with false promises and he's drinking it up.
That's called hope. What's wrong with that?
Apart from the dubious morality?
I think that was an eye trace thing. This is like gratuitous, the amount of cuts that are going on in this dialogue. They should just cut from the kid to both of them talking continuously.
It feels like a cut for the sake of a cut.
Also, in the close-up, we've got a lot of negative space. Usually to make the characters feel trapped, to add some uneasiness to their decisions. Over here, like, let's just add this thing for this one shot, even though it is a continuous dialogue, so it doesn't make sense to use this framing on emotional level as well.
And it's turning to the left side of the frame, then on the right side. And then the shot is too similar.
Yeah, the shot size. As a rule of thumb, you should be going in or out 2 shot sizes. For example, the widest we've got is like a total shot or something like that, where basically it's a shot of the whole environment. So you don't go from total shot to super wide shot. You go to a wide shot instead, where the building is pretty much filling almost the entire frame. Then it feels okay, because you went 2 shot sizes in.
Never seemed to pick a job that didn't involve late nights or long trips away, though. You know, me and Aunt Susie always kind of thought he was maybe cheating on our mom. Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. I know how much you worship him, but there it is.
The cuts are either too early or they're too late. The rhythm of it is a little bit off, and then clearly off once we cut to the car coming at us.
The transition, you kind of in a movement, and it doesn't feel like the scene ended.
Me and Aunt Susie always kind of thought he was maybe cheating on our mom. Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. I know how much you worshipped him, but there it is.
When the dad gets up, he's out of frame for several frames, maybe 6, 7. And you no longer see his face. It doesn't express anything.
They were trying to make it like in real life, this is how long it would take for him to go and sit down and to get up, but
the right reverse shot would have had him getting up right away inside the shot.
Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. I know how much you worshipped him, but...
If they would have compressed that time, it would have fixed dude getting up and his head getting cut off and we're just staring at his crotch for like a few frames. I think that would have remedied all of that.
Claude and Ray, fuck it, you know, sometimes you got to do certain shit. It's just enough that people know that, you know, I go where I need to go to get it done. If you push my button, there's no telling what I may do. Stab you, choke you, bite you. I mean, whatever it takes to make a motherfucker stop. existing, I would do that. I wish the spoon was sharp. I stab a nigga right now. I bet one motherfucker to death. You won't fuck with us.
When you have that kind of movies, when you see Will Ferrell improvising in front of the camera,
Grab the children! Save the children!
they let them like improvise for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, even more.
Yeah.
And then in the editing room, they have to make it work, but they can't keep everything. When they go to the wide on one side to a close-up on the other side, this works. There's a comedic effect, changing side and changing angles.
It's supposed to be like a cascade of different moments of the conversation.
But there's a couple of times we go from one close-up to the same close-up, but on the other side.
The execution is a little bit off.
$1 million.
Paying the ransom doesn't guarantee you get your son back.
I'm not paying the ransom nearly guarantees I don't.
Well, I'd say your son's chances are better than that.
Why don't you explain the odds to me? Is it a coin toss? Heads, he lives. Tails, he dies. I can see how that's a chance worth taking when there's real money at stake.
All right, let me rephrase that, please.
This is like a huge continuity issue.
One of the most jarring cuts I've ever seen.
She's walking past Mark Wahlberg, and then the next shot, she's probably like 5 feet away from him.
And she's right in the middle of a sentence too.
Because the pacing of the discussion is dynamic and so on, it also makes it too obvious, I guess. It's often a problem with one-take scenes. If there is something wrong with pacing, with dialogue, with whatever, cutting something out doesn't work because then you're violating the eye trace, the rule of two similar shots.
But here they decided to embrace it.
I will say, though, that the edit with the conversation is really good, though, because it's continuous. It doesn't sound like she's breaking at all.
Sound editing. Yeah.
It was cut to reveal. These were a few examples of edits that were difficult, I guess. Of course, we're not dissing the editors for doing what they did.
Movies that you're seeing, that's the best movie that they could make.
We just wanted to try and learn from them.
All right, and that's it for this episode. Listener, if you have anything to add to that, please let us know by either commenting or sending us an email or reaching out to us on Instagram. With that being said, we hope you have a great day. Take care.